It's a relationship that survived a nuclear test and is flourishing. India and France all set to celebrate the silver jubilee of their strategic ties. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be in Paris, and with me is Ambassador Javed Ashraf, India's ambassador to France. Ambassador, this is a relationship that's said to be a visit that's said to be high both on substance and on symbolism. Sir, let's begin with the symbolism. We are told a red carpet is being laid out for the Prime Minister. What will happen, sir?
Well, as you're right, I mean, this is a visit that is high both on symbolism and substance. Substance part I cannot talk about at this point of time. You will see what the Prime Minister and President Macron decide during their 2 days of talks here in Paris. But it is truly a moment of great pride and honor for India and for Prime Minister that he's been invited as the guest of honor here at the French National Day on July 14. But I wanted to tell you that this is not something that happens every year. France does not have a practice of inviting a guest of honor from outside every year. It happens usually on a special occasion, for a special purpose, or to send a message of great importance globally. And I think this visit and this honor to the Prime Minister and to India is to be seen in that context. This is, of course, a moment of great pride for us also because there will be a tri-service contingent that will be participating in the parade in the morning on July 14. There will be 3 Rafales which will fly in formation with the Rafales of the French Air Force. And in the port of Brest, which is a major strategic naval base for France, our indigenous stealth destroyer INS Chennai will be stationed, will be berthed there, and they will be also saluting the people of France and saluting the relationship and our 2 leaders, Prime Minister and President Macron.
Sir, 3 Rafales of the Indian Air Force will be a part of the flypast. Will 26 Rafale Marines also be flying to India or be made in India?
I think there's been far too much speculation on this particular issue in the media, and I think these are decisions that are best left to be taken in due course through the appropriate procedures, through appropriate channels. And I'm sure our defense cooperation in all its dimensions, operational cooperation, military exercises, intelligence cooperation, the role of France in enabling India's capacities to increase, but also in fulfilling its ambition of an Atmanirbhar defense industry. All of these will be, I'm sure, subjects of great discussions between Prime Minister and President. But it'll be unfair to cast this relationship in the narrow confines of defense and security, because ours is a relationship which is truly comprehensive. There are 5 very strong pillars of this partnership. There is the political and diplomatic relationship, which is important and consequential both in the context of the Indo-Pacific region. As you know, India and France are the major resident powers of the Indian Ocean region. France is resident also in the Pacific. But it is also important in the context of the international order. And we are 2 countries that have deep and abiding commitment to multilateralism in a multipolar world. We have shared perspectives in addressing the multitude of global challenges that countries of the world are facing, and we are 2 countries that want to increase cohesion and unity in a world that seems to be increasingly fragmenting because of many structural changes and challenges.
Absolutely, sir. And will this relationship get a thrust of a jet engine that will also be made in India, designed and developed together between the 2 countries?
You didn't let me complete the rest of what I was going to say about the pillars of the relationship. So you've now come on to the second pillar, which is defense security. Space and nuclear, they have been very important partners. In fact, the first partner for us in the space sector. And it's really a moment of great pride for India that today we work as partners. It's something France helped us enter the space journey, but today we are 2 countries that work as equal partners in launches, in satellites, in Earth observations, in communications, and increasingly in making our space more secure.
That was the point I was coming to.
And the third, let me complete this, because you are now jumping the gun, and it's important to point out that this relationship has a very strong economic and technology pillar also. There are 39 of the top 40 French CAC 40 companies are present in India, doing extremely well. Many are leaders contributing to India's industrialization, exports out of India. Many are making India their export hub or integrating India into their global supply chains. Manufacturing, research, design and development of some of the most sensitive technologies. Similarly, it is a growing presence of Indian companies here in France as a gateway to Europe. We are two countries that have been always working together in advanced computing and supercomputing. Capgemini setting up its 6G lab in India. And now we are working together as no two countries are in digital public infrastructure, demonstrating that India's success in digital public infrastructure is not just for countries like India or for developing countries of the global south, that there are applications of digital public infrastructure in developed world as well, and that together there's great philosophical convergence between our two countries. We want to show that we want to build a world where the internet is also defined by the values that we share, which is open, inclusive, democratic.
Absolutely, and very essential. But on space, security, protecting satellites, is that an area where India and France are going to work together? Because is space the next frontier when it comes to war?
Wherever human beings take their activities, competition and conflict also migrate to those domains. So we've created a cyber world. There's conflict now, competition, and strategic challenges in the cyber. We went underwater to secure ourselves, to explore assets. There are more and more competition underwater. And similarly, it's in the space domain. Now, how we work with various countries, how we collaborate, and how we define our partnership is something that is left for the two sides to discuss in the privacy of their meetings and their collaborations. But what I'd like to say is that these are areas where we only work very closely with countries in which we have complete trust.
And India and France have complete trust in each other.
Yes.
And there is an adversary that is increasingly lurking underwater in the Indian Ocean region that Quad countries are very apprehensive about. India, that's our backwaters, the entire Indian Ocean from North American Sea to South China Sea, but no, not Arabian Sea to South China Sea. But if I may, in subsurface domain awareness and submarines, are we building submarines more at the Mazagaon Docks Limited, and are we getting to know more subsurface operations together?
India, as you know, is strategically located in the Indian Ocean and is a major contributor to the to security of the Indian Ocean region, to keep the sea lanes of communication open, to ensure that this is a global common accessible to all, and that we are a major power, major player in advancing a more stable, secure, peaceful, and prosperous, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific region. And for that, we, of course, have to work on two planks. We build our capacities and we build our coalitions. Now, coalitions isn't about alliances or treaties. It's about different ways in which countries work together, exchange information, collaborate, share information, do things together. There are different ways in which we do these things. So whether it is our capacity building or whether it is what we might call coalition building, that is working with other partners with similar objectives, these are areas where we work with our most trusted partners.